right, Germanization in Amerika. I'm here with Daniel.
Hello.
One of my best friends right now here, and yeah, we just had a cool meeting, right? We do these meetings right now. We can say weekly, and yeah, Daniel, why you tell them a little bit what we are talking about?
Today?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, this is a great guy. He's had a great impact on my life. He's a wonderful friend, and I just wanted for you guys out there to know that he knows what he's talking about. So we usually meet up and just talk about. We're both in the fitness industry, and we know it's sort of like a little power meeting that we do. Sometimes we get together with another trainer. Her name is Leslie, and yeah, we just basically just change ideas, talk about each other's goals, and we just help each other out that way. Like, oh, you know what, this is a great idea. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? So we do that for each other, and I think it's becoming more of a common weekly thing at this point. And I think today we were just talking about, in general, focus and what's a good way to put it? Like the fitness industry, like all these unrealistic expectations that the fitness industry puts on people.
Yeah.
And since I'm a trainer, and I train people pretty much 6 days a week. People always come to me with these ideas, like I want to have my six pack in 8 weeks. Like 2 months, 3 months, and so forth. And and it is my job, my responsibility to make sure that I'm not setting people for failure. That make sure that people understand that, yeah, it is possible to attain those goals, but perhaps the time frame that they're giving themselves is not very realistic to begin with. So, my focus is always to make sure that people are moving well, are breathing, are connecting the breathing to the movement. And a lot of people that come to me, they don't even do that. They don't have the capacity to connect the breathing. They don't have the capacity to move well to begin with. So I feel like I have a sense of responsibility to make sure that people understand how to move better first, before I start loading them and having them do Olympic lifts and doing all kinds of fucking heavy, crazy loading and anything like that. That's risking injury because they don't understand how to have the proper form.
Yeah, and you have to understand, guys, that this guy is the movement guru of all the time. I learned so much.
Exaggerating.
No, but for real, I learned so much from him, and I have such a great time with him. Always meeting and just talking about ideas. We have so much. We just figured out we have so much in common, about thinking, about giving, about making all these things with working with people really a heart project and not acting out of marketing reasons. And
right.
You know that I mentioned this, I think 2 days before. I talked about heart project versus marketing reasons, and it's really a heart project for both of us, and that's, I think, why we have this connection. And I appreciate that guy so much because he helped me to see my movement, my way of thinking about things in fitness industry in so different ways.
And he's helping me focus. So I may have been helping him with that, but he's been helping me with finding focus and streamline my ideas, because I'm one of those guys that I'm full of ideas, man. They're everywhere, and I just sort of have to grab here, and just put them in a cohesive curriculum, in a cohesive way. So he looks a lot of my ideas and he's like, oh, this is great. Well, maybe you can change this thing, And every time I hear him, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, how come I didn't think of that? So yeah, and so thank you for that. And so he's been a great guy here. I'm so happy that I met this guy. Yeah, and anyway, it's been a hell of a ride, 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Two months.
Yeah,
So
right.
he started talking to me about nutrition, and I'm like, oh, here we go, another nutrition guy. Yeah, that's great.
You had this bad impression of me.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
But once we get to know each other, I'm like, wait, there's a lot more than that going on. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, nice. Thanks, Daniel, man.
Thank
really
you, Marvin.
appreciate it. And, great. All right. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Bleib fit, bleib gesund, bleib energetisch. Wir sehen uns morgen.
Ciao!